I'm Bjorn from Skeino. We have planned a session of 4 different sections to introduce yarn to you. The basics, how it's being done, fancy yarn from silk, yarn from ribbon, or whatever comes in your fingers. So I want to introduce a lot of this. It will be a session in total of 4 series or 4 different complete little movies. So I will talk about a lot. And today I am in front of future items you will see in our Skeino website, in our Skeino store. And left and right you see one braid of the Cuddle Afghan will be our new item on the 30/30 day. That will be on March the 30th. And this one is today. So I hope you will enjoy the yarn, and I hope you will come back to me with questions. Maybe I've missed something to tell you, but it will be very exciting. So follow me in the yarn cabinet. Welcome in yarn heaven, or maybe welcome in the dye kitchen, because you're looking at all undyed yarns, which one of course crying to be colored. And you see only one little skein here, which one is already colored, and I want to explain each yarn group in here to you, so sharing my knowledge over all these years what yarn is all about. We have in the center one group of silk. On the left side it's one group of multi-plied yarn, mainly merino or other natural fibers. Here in the north we have the group of ribbons. Then we have here a few yarns. There are I-cord, some yarn with lurex, and here is a small group of multi-ply yarn. I will explain in detail how this is spun. And on the right side you see all kinds of mohair, brushed, bouclés, singles, and very, very interesting yarn and textures, and it's just yummy, yummy, yummy. And this is where everything starts. And when I'm talking to the yarn companies, this is what they send to me, and it gives me most of the time a sleepless night to choose from for you, for a new product, for a new kit, to give you something exciting to do. We will tape this in, I believe, in 3, maybe 4 sections and spread out over a few weeks, because I want to explain the yarns really in detail, so when you buy yarn, so you know what you're looking at, and maybe it helps you to identify everything a little bit. I'm not going into the fibers themselves, just saying, okay, this is a blend of so and so, or like the group in the middle, this is all silk. We will start with the left group, so see you in a bit, and for the first section. The first group of yarns I have here on the table are the what I call the normal twist from a mill or from a spinning wheel if you are a spinner, and each yarn starts more or less with a single yarn like here. So this is just one twist of fibers, and when you take this apart and you untwist this, you see there are just fibers. So the fibers are parallel and twisted into a single yarn. That is the base for each yarn. You can leave it as a twist, but sometimes just a single yarn does something, people call it like it's making pigtails. So this is the beginning of the yarn, and if you would ply, or the industry would ply 2 together, then you have this classical yarn here. It is just a 2-ply yarn, and when you untwist this with your fingers, you see there are two singles twisted together to building up this 2-ply yarn. Here is another sample of a single yarn, and it is spun thick and thin, so you have thicker portions and you have thinner portions. And that yarn, when you knit a single yarn, and most of the time if it's not steamed, and being put so it's not having one direction as it is spun. Then you don't have a diamond shape scarf or a diamond shape sweater where the seams are coming all the time to the front or to the back. That is unfortunately sometimes with single yarn, but this is a nice one, and single yarn can be knitted as well. We have as our single yarn in our Arabella shawl, and it knits nice and well. So in all the other yarns I have here, they are more or less 2-ply, 3-ply. Here is another one just with the single yarns. So when I untwist it, you see these are, oh, I don't know, 5 or 6 twisted together. This is a fingering yarn, and here is a very thick yarn. It is the fiber is camel, so it is a 2-ply yarn as well, just 2 strands knitted together. So this is a very, very classical yarn, and it can be sock yarn, fingering weight yarn, thicker yarn. It can be bulky, super bulky, just several yarns plied together from a single spun yarn. So this is our first group, very basic yarn. The single yarn multiplied gives you the basic yarn. And I will switch over now to the next group of yarn. These are plied yarns plied again. That's why we call them the multiplied yarns. So when you take these apart, let me try it with this one here. When you untwist this one, you see it is done from several 2-plied yarns, and as far as I can see, this has 6 2-plied yarns twisted again together. This is what we call the multiply yarn. It can be fine, it can be thick or thinner, so whatever. So these are the multiplied yarn. They have kind of a pearl character that looks like pearl, and they give a nice texture, and the surface of your knitted piece is really has something extra. It's very soft and can be done with any fibers. So this was my first session, just the normal yarns, and in our next session we will go over to some fancy yarns.